Now in Denver 7 News at 6, we're helping you get a jump on the holiday weekend.
This morning, pushback to President Biden's fiery message about MAGA's risk to America.
I will not stand by and watch elections in this country stolen by people who simply refuse to accept that they lost.
Russell Wilson levels up with the Broncos, extending his ride for 5 years.
We want to make this a destination location.
How his teammates feel about his multi-million-dollar payout.
And our Denver 7 morning team out a little late, strutting their stuff for a great cause.
Who am I wearing? It's a quesadilla. No, it's a taco and a bunch of gatos.
No. Bunch of gatos. I hope you kept the shirt.
I don't know. Do I have to give it back? Or if you're watching, I'll give you any sum of money. $245 million, for example.
Taco cat shirt. Love it. We had a great time out there last night.
And you did such a great job emceeing.
Oh, thank you.
You set the stage. But
Thank
yeah,
you.
Jason wore the outfit that we promised when we did our segment yesterday.
Yes.
I wore the taco cat shirt that we did in the segment 2 weeks ago. We're men of our words.
There you go.
Exactly. It was hot at the Botanic Gardens, though, last
I
night.
imagine
it was.
Into
Yes.
the evening, it was still very hot.
Yeah, and that'll be the case again today and for the foreseeable future. Temperatures staying in the 90s here, not only for our long holiday weekend, but into next week. So just mentally, emotionally, physically prepare for this heat to stick around. Our hourly planner going into today will have temperatures in the 80s as we get toward noon, and then we'll be in the 90s after that with sunny skies. So our forecast highs today, 92 in Littleton, 93 in Denver, and also 92 in Aurora with partly cloudy skies. Highs today all along the Front Range will be in the low to mid 90s, very similar to what we saw yesterday. Now up toward Estes Park and Allens Park, temperatures in the 70s. If you're looking to beat the heat, definitely head up into the hills where it will be a little cooler this weekend. Across northeastern Colorado, mid to upper 90s for afternoon highs. So as you're headed out the door this morning, temperatures will be in the 60s through about 8 a.m., 70s at 9 a.m., and then 80s after that once we get toward lunchtime. Our high country planner looks good as well. 50s and 60s for this morning, around 10,000 feet with lots of sunshine on the way.
And taking a live look this morning from Air Tracker 7 over the metro area, traffic is running smooth, but I anticipate a lot of people on the roadways heading into this Labor Day weekend, especially up into the mountains. So let's take it live on I-70 right now through Morrison. As you can see from our CDOT camera, very lightly traveled roadways. You're not going to encounter any major issues right now if you are heading out the door. To the map, a lot of green out there in terms of some drive times here across town. Very easy driving on 270 right now. We did see a slight slowdown on eastbound, but just about a 7-minute drive, I-25 down to I-70. Westbound I-76 running smooth as well, to and from Boulder, 36 in the clear, and into the mountains right now, an under 55-minute drive west and eastbound, Golden to Silverthorne. I-70 east and westbound, it'll take you nice and easily out to the airport on Pena Boulevard, and that is where we find our Jessica Crawford this morning, keeping us all in the loop of how travel is going there at DIA. Jessica.
Yeah, Katie, we're right here at the airport, and you know how you said, things aren't too bad on the roadways. Things aren't too bad here either. I'm going to take a step back and just give you a look at what the wait looks like here. Not bad at all. So earlier when we showed up, we got here, I want to say around 4:50. There was a line that was looping all the way through here and way down the hallway. So really, they're moving people pretty fast through the airport. You can also check flight times, and you can check delays. You can also check the wait times on flydenver.com. But flying is not the only way that people are getting around for this Labor Day holiday. So beginning today at noon, CDOT is suspending all construction projects to reduce potential traffic delays for those who are going to be traveling with their cars. So the only exception is going to be for emergency operations. Projects can resume their regular schedule on Tuesday, September 6th. Also, a lot of people probably planning to get out to the mountains, maybe going to enjoy Morrison. So in those cases, you're going to want to get out there as soon as possible, maybe even while it's still dark out, because at this point, we could expect a lot of traffic throughout the day. So I'm going to give you one last look at what we're dealing with here at the airport. If you do have a flight coming up here soon, then you can rest assured that it looks like you're going to be able to move pretty quickly through these lines. Live from DIA, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
Thank you, Jessica. I always fret that one exit when you're trying to pull off the DIA, you just see it all backed up and you're like, oh, Today's one of those days. Got it. All right. And obviously, we have seen so many flight delays and cancellations this summer. The Department of Transportation actually launched a new tool to try and combat that problem, at least. The Airline Consumer Dashboard will show you what kinds of guarantees, refunds, or compensation major domestic airlines offer in case of those flight delays or those flight cancellations. It is designed to allow passengers to shop around and favor those airlines that have the best compensation. You can find it on the DOT's website, transportation.gov. And you can get interactive radar and the latest road conditions right on your phone. You can just download the Denver 7 mobile app for free on your device.
The crucial midterm elections are now just over 2 months away. And as Americans prepare to vote, President Biden is calling for unity while also criticizing his predecessor and so-called MAGA Republicans in a primetime address to the nation.
Against a backdrop of red, white, and blue, President Biden sternly spoke about what he called a battle for the soul of the nation.
I've come to this place where it all began to speak as plainly as I can to the nation about the threats we face.
From Independence Hall, where the foundation of the nation's Constitution and democracy was created, the president gave this warning.
But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans. And that is a threat to this country. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology.
He says that ideology would take the country backwards.
Backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love.
Biden's remarks came days after he accused some Republicans of embracing semi-fascism by following former President Trump. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy said Biden should have apologized for that comment and criticized his leadership.
President Biden has chosen to divide, demean, and disparage his fellow Americans. Why? Simply because they disagree with his policies. That is not leadership.
With the midterm elections weeks away and his approval numbers now rising, the president pressed upon his administration's recent achievements. ABC's Rick Klein says Biden is offering the voters a stark choice.
The very soul of this country.
But making this a choice, saying, look, this is what we would do, these are what the other guys would do. This is what it would mean to go back to former President Trump and to others in the Republican Party that ascribe to his ideology.
And Pennsylvania, where the president is making 3 stops this week, is one of the key battlegrounds as both parties look ahead to November. Denver Public Schools is closer to reaching a new contract with its teachers union. Members of the Denver Classroom Teachers Association now just have to vote to ratify it. We broke the news yesterday morning that both sides came to an agreement after an almost 24-hour negotiating session. The 3-year contract includes increased salaries for returning teachers by an average of 8.7%. Also, starting salaries will be raised to just over $50,000 a year. The district will also invest $2.5 million in employee benefits. You can find more details about the agreement right now on thedenverchannel.com.
We're also learning that Jeffco teachers in schools that are closing will have to reapply for jobs in that district. That provision is from a Colorado state law from 2010, and it's spelled out in all contracts. We told you last week that the district is recommending 16 elementary schools for closure because of declining enrollment. All in all, this is going to impact 400 teachers. Jeffco's school board will vote on those recommendations in November. Well, Russell Wilson is going to be riding with the Broncos for the next 7 years. We broke the story to you yesterday morning.
Yeah, and now we are hearing Russell Wilson talk about it. He signed that 5-year contract extension worth $245 million. His new deal calls for a $165 million guarantee and $77 million bonuses paid out over the next 8 months. The deal, though, is good business for the Broncos because the team said it allows them to better manage the salary cap and have money left to pay other players. Russell Wilson said that was important to him. In fact, more important to him, he said, than the money.
Yeah, I love these guys, man. We've having a blast. It's been an amazing joy. And so for me, it wasn't really about, how much necessarily. It was about how many Super Bowls we can win. And that's really the focus.
I love when he talks like that. 2 words, Broncos country. Would love to hear more. Super Bowl. It's been a while since 2015. And actually, Courtland Sutton, the wide receiver, probably had the best response to his teammates' big payday.
He definitely gonna be picking up the checks. We definitely gonna probably be going and getting us a nice little dinner here pretty soon. You know, courtesy of young Russ.
Usually they take the offensive linemen out to dinner. I didn't know they're taking out the receivers too. But you could probably afford it. Yeah. And in Russell's regular season debut, let's not forget, as a Broncos against his old team. Broncos head up to Seattle for Monday Night Football. Bum, 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 bum. On September 12th, right here on Denver 7. Our coverage kicks off at 5 p.m.
Danny, I thought you were going to offer news anchors going out to dinner with him. Temperatures are going from the 60s this morning into the 90s later this afternoon. It'll be another warm one for us with highs in the low to mid 90s and mostly sunny skies. And it looks like this type of weather is going to last us into the holiday weekend. I'll have more on your forecast coming up.
And as we kick off this holiday weekend here across the Denver metro area, roads in pretty good shape right now. No major problems to tell you about, but traffic is starting to pick up in volume, and we expect some pretty busy conditions as we go through today. I'll take you through the drive times and your full traffic report still to come.
All right, well, Kofifi, that was a good one. Rock, paper, sicker, that was another good one. You know, I'm not mocking. Everyone could use an edit button on Twitter, and now the company is closer to making that feature a reality for some special users.
Millennial hallelujah. And hey, take two for NASA. Tomorrow could be the day its new moon rocket lifts off, and the agency is pinpointing what kept it on the ground earlier this week. We'll tell you about that.